Kia ora koutou, and welcome back to New Zealand Clever Home. In my last video, I said that I'd ordered 4 new smart plugs for my Aqara hub. And guess what? Today, they arrived. So let's take a closer look at the Aqara smart plug. Now, before I go any further, those of you in the know will say to me, but that's not an Aqara smart plug. That's a Xiaomi Mijia smart plug. And you'll be right. When I first got into the Xiaomi Aqara space, I bought the Xiaomi Mijia gateway hub first. And then bought the Aqara hub after that. And of course, all of the Xiaomi Mijia products work with the Aqara hub too. So although this is a Xiaomi Mijia, I think I'm saying that right, Xiaomi Mijia smart plug, it does work with Aqara and consequently connects directly to HomeKit. So let's get into having a look at this product and setting it up. When I started my home automation journey, I did a lot of research into smart plugs, and the first one I bought was the Sonoff S20. It was a fairly cheap product, and there were lots of YouTube videos out there with support on how to use these. As you can see, they are, they're fairly nice looking product. You've got your on-off button here, Chinese plug at the back, so of course you can turn them upside down. So in New Zealand, this is how they look. So the Sonoff is upside down. Once you get over that, that's okay. And they come with their own app called the iwi Link app, and you can use this plug straight out of the box with the iwi Link app and Amazon Alexa or Google Home. But you all know that my preferred platform is Apple HomeKit. So in order to get this to work with Apple HomeKit, you have to take it apart and put some custom firmware on it. Then you can expose the plug to Home Assistant and then push that down to Apple HomeKit. That's quite a cumbersome process, but I managed it and I got there. And like I say, I was really happy with it. But there were, pretty much 2 things that bugged me. Firstly, the size. When you plug this into a double plug in New Zealand, you pretty much limit your ability to use the second plug. And secondly, it doesn't work with Apple HomeKit out of the box. And that just didn't sit well with me. So that's when I came across the Aqara hub, or the Xiaomi hub. And as you can see, the socket here is a lot smaller. If I take it out of the box and I compare that with the size of the Sonoff S20, you can see a dramatic difference in size. Now, when I plug this into the wall, I still have access to the second plug. So it's a lot smaller. At the bottom you have your, and for us in New Zealand it would be the top, because of course we've got the plug plugged in upside down. You've got your manual on-off button, plus your Wi-Fi sync button, and here you have a little LED light that flashes when it goes on and during setup. So this answered all the problems I had with this. It's a lot smaller, and with the Aqara hub, it talks directly to Apple HomeKit. So let's set it up. Well, I have my Aqara hub here. So the first thing we need to do is to plug it in. And you'll see that the LED light comes on straight away and it starts to flash. So then we go to our cell phone and open up the Aqara app, and we click the plus button and we select the type of device we want to sync, and in this case it's a smart plug. We identify the hub we're doing it with, which is
ready
this.
to connect to child devices.
As you can see,
child device connected.
It speaks in English to me. It tells me that the device is connected. That connected within, 3 seconds. So that's super quick. And all there is left to do now is to configure the settings for this plug. So I'm going to name the plug And this plug is going to be my kitchen LED, and it's going to be in my kitchen, and I hit done. After a little bit of time, you'll see that the plug is in. Oh, that's strange. It hasn't given it its proper name. Let me just change that. So I long press. It's retained outlet for some reason. I'm just going to delete that and retype kitchen LED. Okay. Oh, didn't like that either. Try one more time. There we go. It's renamed it kitchen LED. And then when I switch it on, you see the blue light comes on. That means the plug's on. I switch it off and it goes off. But what's really exciting about this is how quick this syncs to Apple HomeKit. Straight away, in my favorites, you can see I have a new plug there called Kitchen LED. I can turn it on and off. And if I go to my kitchen room, you'll see there it is, on and off. And you can see there I also have this LED, which is the plug I'm replacing. That currently is a Sonoff S20. So I'm going to replace that and take it off my network and use this one instead. And that's it. That's as simple as that. So for me, there are 4 major pros with this plug. Firstly, it's super small. It's a lot smaller than the Sonoff S20, it's a lot smaller than the Eve plug, and it's a lot smaller than all of the other plugs I've seen in the stores here in New Zealand. Secondly, it works with Apple HomeKit right out of the box. Thirdly, it works using Zigbee, so it's not connecting to your Wi-Fi network and clogging it up. And lastly, if you're not a HomeKit person like myself, it also works with Amazon Alexa and Google Home. So for me, it's a win-win. I think there's only one con so far with this plug, and that is because it's a Chinese plug, and I'm assuming most Chinese plugs have a 3-prong plug, there's a little catch in the bottom single prong that requires you to plug something in, which opens up the top 2 prongs. Now, if you're using a 3-prong plug in New Zealand, then that's not a problem. But as I said earlier, a lot of plugs in New Zealand are now the 2-prong plug. And so in which case you kind of have to jiggle around with it with a screwdriver to get it in. I strongly advise you don't do that whilst it's plugged into the mains. But as far as I can see, that's the only con with this plug. You all know how much I love the Aqara products. This plug is no exception. It's definitely worth the buy. Like I said, $15 on AliExpress. You can't go wrong. If you have any questions for me, then flick me an email at this address. Please, if you like this video, subscribe. There are plenty more to come. Thanks for watching. Haere rā.